Hi everybody, Richard Tromans here again, Artificial Lawyer TV. Today we're doing another product walkthrough, this time with LegalOn. Daniel Lewis, the CEO in the US, is here to tell us a bit more. Dan, what are you showing us today?
Hey, Richard. Thanks for the introduction. Great to be here. So LegalOn is an AI contract review platform. We help over 6,500 legal teams review and negotiate contracts faster and more accurately before they sign them. So we help teams across every industry, and our customers range from small and medium businesses to the Fortune 500.
Fantastic. And you're showing us a new playbook feature.
Yeah, we'll be showing you the whole product, including one of our latest features, which is called My Playbooks, which makes it easy for teams to turn their existing standards into AI that can then review and revise contracts just the way that they would.
Gotcha. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to disappear. Please take it away and I'll come back at the end.
Great. So before getting into the product, I wanted just to share a few bullets about what makes LegalOn particularly unique. First is our AI is built on real legal knowledge. So LegalOn reviews and redlines using up-to-date content created by our team of experienced attorneys. And so for every risk that we spot in a contract, we provide an attorney-written practice note for why that risk matters. Second, our AI is grounded in playbooks. Our expert attorneys have built over 50 playbooks tailored to each side of every contract that we cover. And these are adjustable to fit your needs, and we can develop custom playbooks for you. Third, our AI works on day one. We invest thousands of hours in developing playbooks and training our AI so that you don't have to, and so that the product is usable right out of the box right away. Lastly, fourth, we have the most comprehensive suite of features for review. So in addition to AI review using playbooks, we also have contract comparison tools, versioning, the ability to search your collection of contracts for clauses and contracts, and a library of templates to help you draft that are built and maintained by our team of attorneys. So with that, let's jump in. And today I'm going to show you LegalOn's newest feature. It's called My Playbooks, which lets you review and redline against your own requirements and standards, and layer on LegalOn's expert-built playbooks so you have a fully comprehensive review. I'll show all you this in our web online application, but you can also do these reviews in Word. So you can open up a contract directly in Word. We have an add-on. You can do all of the stuff that I'll show you right there as well. So to kick off, you can review a contract from this dashboard. So this is the first screen that you would see after you log into LegalOn. It'll show you contracts that have been uploaded for review. A quick orientation. On the left-hand side, you have search. So you can search across all of the contracts in your collection at a very granular basis to find specific contracts or specific clause language. Think of it as a clause library. You also have My Templates, where you can store your own template agreements as a source of truth, as a place to compare inbound contracts against. And you also have LegalOn's templates, which are built to help you have a starting point for drafting. These are patent licensing agreements, NDAs, MSAs, 100+ different templates that you can use that are built by our experienced attorneys. Okay, so if you want to review a contract, you get started by clicking on an agreement here. And from this screen, you have a preview of the contract, and you'll make a couple of selections. So LegalOn alerts are off-the-shelf playbooks. We'll auto-detect what kind of agreement it is. So here it's an MSA, and you'd select what your position is. Are you the customer or the provider? We also offer this tailored to English law. You can see that here as UK. Within this dropdown, you can see the wide array of contract types that we support off the shelf. And then you can layer on your own playbook. So these are standards that your team has built in of specific issues and language that you want to use when reviewing contracts and negotiating them. So we've got 3 here as examples. I'm going to apply the general terms playbook. I'm going to click review. And right now, in just these seconds while it's loading, our AI is running through that contract, looking for the issues from our own playbook and from your playbook, the customer's example playbook. And this is the initial review screen where you can see all of the alerts come to life. I'm going to jump right through to our in-browser editor where you can then also make changes based on those alerts. And again, you have this similar experience in the Word add-in where you can make all of these changes. So you can see these alerts loading. On the left, you've got the contract. On the right, you've got at the top, My Playbooks, which is the custom built playbooks that you as a customer would have created. And down below, you've got LegalOn alerts. I'll walk you through these one at a time. So the first is you as a customer have built in an alert saying the contract must be governed and construed by the laws of the state of California. We're flagging that this is not met, and we'll jump you to the language, and it'll show you that this is in the state of Illinois. When you expand this alert, it'll show you that source language, and it'll show you any other information that you've built into this alert. So your model language, maybe your fallback positions, etc. You can click AI Revise, and we'll make a change for you to bring this into alignment with your standards. So we're going to make a very surgical edit, change it to California. Next, you can see an alert that's met. Contract must include a provision regarding notices. You can jump and confirm that that's right. Again, another alert that'll jump you to the place where we've spotted the language that meets this alert. And then I'll show you just one more here. So the contract should specify that payments are due no earlier than 30 days from the date of the invoice. Because this language isn't in the contract, there's no specific language to jump you to. So we're going to recommend a place where the revision should be made. And again, you can click a button and we'll make this change for you. So let's see this happen. Great, and you can see with these red lines, they're very surgical. They align with existing language in the contract. They'll align with the styles and formats, like adding a list format here, 4.4. Okay, so it's also very easy to edit these playbooks. You can just click an edit button and it'll take you to the playbooks screen where you set these things up. And so here you can see the 5 alerts that are incorporated in this general terms playbook. And if you wanted to build a new one, you just click add a playbook alert. If you want to edit, you can just go into here. So I want to edit this by the laws of let's call it by so you could change this to English law right here. Save it, run your review again, you're off and running. I'm going to jump back to the review screen. We're not going to update this review right now, but that's just an example of how easy it is to create these alerts. And then I'm going to show you one of LegalOn's alerts. So again, here you have many alerts from our team. So we will look for 100+ issues in an MSA. And these are organized based on their level of importance. So alerts might be low, medium, or high. And a high alert is something that we think is fairly likely to happen and fairly costly if it does happen, right? So that's sort of the framework of thinking about low, medium, and high priority through the lens of the kinds of risks that an in-house team would consider. When you see an alert, we will say what the problem is. You can expand that. We have a suggestion of what to do. We will offer you sample language drafted by our attorneys for how to fix the issue. And here we're highlighting a specific section in a typical reps and warranties clause that we think is the missing piece that needs to be added. We also have guidance, which is a practice note that explains why this issue matters, how to think about the negotiation of it, maybe gives you some mitigation or fallback ideas as well. And so if you want to make the change, again, you just click AI Revise and we'll make a red line for you. It's designed to be very precise. It's not copying and pasting whole blocks of text in. It's going to align with the existing language of the contract, the list formats, the styles, sort of hundreds of different things that make redlining easy and seamless that we've focused our attention on. And so just quickly, you can tell, like when you're reviewing a 10-page MSA, these alerts can jump you to the sections that are most important. AI Revise can take what otherwise requires minutes turn it into seconds. So the last piece I want to show you here in this walkthrough is Assistant. This lives alongside the contract and it's available at every step of the review for you. So within this, you can ask questions of the contract, and we've also built out specialized skills. So for example, you could ask a question like, can I assign this contract? All right. So it's grounded in giving you source language from the contract. And I also want to highlight some skills here, like summarizing red lines. So after you've made your changes, we've made several here, right? You can click this skill and we will parse through that agreement to figure out what has changed and draft a summary of that so that as the user, you have a summary that you can provide to the counterparty or your internal stakeholder, kind of catching them up on the work that's happened. So with all that done, you can save. We'll bring you back to a screen where you now have version control. So you can see that a second version of the contract has been created right here. So now you've got the original version, you've got the second version. You've got the ability to compare contracts. So you can compare two versions and see what's changed. You can compare a new contract against a template, and you can collaborate with others. So I could tag somebody from my team and say, hey, please take a look at the InfoSec requirements of this contract so that they can come in and do their part of the workflow. And then you can download into Word. You exchange it with the other side however you normally would, and you're off and running. So that wraps up the product demo.
Thanks, Dan. That's really interesting. And just from my own memory, just comparing this type of feature to what was attempted back in the day using more traditional machine learning systems, they could kind of do it, but they weren't very accurate. And I think one of the things that stood out for me was the surgical precision of taking text and putting it into the document without creating a complete mess, and it actually making sense where it landed. I remember seeing early versions many, many years ago of people trying to do this, and they just really couldn't do it. Is this because of a generative AI aspect, or is that something else?
It definitely is an important part of unlocking the solution here. That said, just off the shelf, they don't work as well as you might think. It does require a lot of engineering and sort of attention to detail of the particularities of Word document formats, things like that. So Gen AI has definitely made it a lot more possible to build this stuff, but there's still quite a bit of hard work going into the attention to detail to get it right. But yeah, compared to the state of the art 10 years ago, it's really night and day.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So, in terms of speeding up the work of an in-house lawyer, I mean, what kind of effects do you hope this will have?
Yeah, so we run surveys and talk with customers regularly to try to understand how this is being incorporated into their day to day. And we have customers reporting up to 85% time savings
Mm.
on reviewing common agreements, which is sort of a stunning number. In recent survey work that we've done, we've had customers report that on average, contract review takes 2 to 4 hours per contract. And so you're taking a process that can take hours and cutting it down into literally minutes. That said, there's obviously still a role for humans in this process, but what we're trying to do is get them out of the most tedious elements of the work, help them be faster in contract review, deliver faster turnarounds to their teams so that they can then choose how to spend their time and reimagine the ways in which they get to focus their energy on projects.
Gotcha. And if, for example, an in-house lawyer is looking at this and they say, okay, this looks great, but I don't actually have very comprehensive playbooks. I've got a few things, but I don't really have comprehensive ones. Like, how do they get to where they need to be?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we've started, and so much of our business is built around having an in-house team ourselves that creates playbooks that are ready to go off the shelf. And so we offer playbooks for several dozen contracts, over 50 plus playbooks in total, covering whether you're the buyer or the seller, kind of both sides of any agreement that you may be on. These cover things like buying services, buying goods, all sorts of data issues like DPAs, NDAs, licensing agreements, construction agreements, office leases. And so off the shelf, you have a ready list of here's what to look for in an agreement. And when there's a problem, here's how to fix it. So recognizing that teams are at all different stages of preparedness and how much time they've been able to invest in creating their own templates, creating their own playbooks, we know that not everybody's in the place that they want to be or think they need to be to have confidence in reviewing every type of agreement that comes in the door. So that's why we've built all of that material and AI to help them get value from day one. So that the hurdle is not, oh, to get value from this software, I need to spend months developing my own playbook, developing and polishing my templates. People have been telling themselves that for years. There's nothing new about that challenge. Teams just don't have the time and the resources to do that work in many cases. So instead, we're saying, look, we'll meet you where you are. This is ready to go right now. If you want services to build on top of that with what you do have, that's great. And the My Playbooks feature is very easy to use. You can do it yourself if you want to and have all the control that you want.
Gotcha. And just to reiterate for people who missed it at the beginning, so this works directly through Word.
That's right. So we have a Word add-in. You can use this right in Word.
Fantastic. And just last point, this will be good for various US jurisdictions, and also in the UK, at least for England and Wales.
That's right. So our off-the-shelf playbooks are tailored to help you with US contracts as well as English law contracts, meaning we're going to be looking for different issues, suggesting different language, providing different practice notes based on whether you're dealing with English law or US law. We serve customers around the world. So we have offices in Tokyo and San Francisco. We serve customers in numerous countries around the world. And our playbooks are specifically grounded in helping on US contracts and English law contracts.
Fantastic. Thank you, Daniel. That's really fascinating, and look forward to seeing what you guys do next. But we'll have to leave it there. But thank you very much.
Thanks for the opportunity, Richard.